Hello and good evening, our beloved viewers. You're watching on Live RTD channel. Welcome to this English news edition. Here are the top stories. The head of state assured the 20th session of the Council of Ministers. And for the international scene, sport news, Egypt narrowly defeats Zimbabwe. Those were the headlines. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margili, held yesterday, this morning, Tuesday, the 20th session of the Council of Ministers, and the discussion were concerned several draft projects included on session's agenda.
Rahim, sous la présidence de son Excellence M. Ismail Omar Guelleh, président de la République, chef des gouvernements, a eu lieu ce mardi 23 décembre 2025 la 20e séance du Conseil des ministres.
First question, draft organic law amending organic law number 13/N/10/6th Legislature of 03 February 2011 amending organic law number 1/N/92nd relating to elections. The purpose of this draft organic law is to ensure that electoral legislation complies with constitutional law of 192/N/25th of 9th Legislature of 6th November 2025, which revised the constitution. Accordingly, the draft organic law proposes the harmonization of existing provisions to align them with the Constitution and the introduction of new rules resulting from the recent constitutional revision. This legislative reform seeks to guarantee consistency and conformity of the electoral framework with the principles and standards set out in the revised Constitution, while ensuring legal certainty throughout the electoral process. Second question, draft decree is setting the date of the presidential elections and convening the Electoral College. The purpose of this draft decree is to convene the Electoral College for the 2026 presidential election in accordance with the finalized electoral rolls as of 30 September 2025, established by the prefect of the city of Djibouti and the regional prefects. The decree sets the first round of the presidential election for Friday, 10th of April 2026. It specifies that polling stations will be open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. throughout the national territory. The decree also establishes that where applicable, the second round of the presidential election will be held on Friday, 24th of April 2026. Ministry of Infrastructure and Equipment. Third question, draft law approving the financial accounts of the Djiboutian Roads Agency ADR for the fiscal year 2024. Fourth item, draft order approving the 2026 provisional budget of the Central Laboratory for Construction and Equipment. The provisional budget for the fiscal year 2026 is presented with projected revenues of 378 million and expenditure of 375,536,000, resulting in a projected surplus of 2 million. Fifth question, draft order approving the 2026 provisional budget of Djibouti International Airport. The provisional budget of the airport for fiscal year 2026 is set at 3,991,056,000 in revenue and 300,647,630,000 in expenditures, resulting in a projected surplus of 333 million Djiboutian francs. Ministry of Youth and Culture. Sixth item, draft laws approving the financial accounts of the National Agency for the Promotion of Culture for fiscal year 2023 and 2024. For fiscal year 2023, AMPC accounts show revenues of 349 million and expenditures of 297 million, resulting in a surplus of 52,000. For fiscal year 2024, revenues amounted to 328 million and expenditures to 327 million. Presidency of the Republic. Seventh question, draft orders approving the 2026 provisional budgets of the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities and the Disability Support Fund. The 2026 provisional budget of AMPH is balanced at 297,000 in both revenues and expenditures. The 2026 provisional budget of the Disability Support Fund is also balanced at around 208 million in revenues and expenditures. Ministry of Economy and Finance, in charge of industry. Eighth question, draft order approving the 2026 provisional budget of the Djibouti Guarantee Fund. The 2026 provisional budget of FOGAD is balanced at 81,295,000 in revenues and expenditures. Draft order approving the 2026 provisional budget of the Djibouti Institute of Statistics. The 2026 provisional budget of INSTAD is balanced at 485 1,686,000. Ministry of Defense. 10th question. Draft order approving the 2026 provisional budget of the Military Pension Fund. The 2026 provisional budget of the fund is balanced between revenues and expenditures for a total amount of 300,238,306,000. Ministry of Health. 11th question. Draft order approving and making enforceable the 2026 provisional budget of the Central Purchasing Agency for Medicines and Essential Medical Supplies. The 2026 provisional budget of CAM is presented with revenues of 1,436,627 and 802 and expenditures of 1,430,177 million Djiboutian francs, resulting in a surplus of 6 million. 12th question. Draft order approving and making enforceable the 2026 provisional budget of the Regional Hospital of Ali Sibeh. The 2026 provisional budget is balanced at 233,812. The Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training. 13th item. Draft order approving the 2026 provisional budget of the National Education Research Information and Production Center, CREPEN. The 2026 provisional budget of the CREPEN is balanced at 480,928. 4th item. Draft order approving and making enforceable the 2026 provisional budget of the Higher Institute of Health Science. The 2026 provisional budget of ISSS is balanced at 358,528,000, including an expected state subsidy of 328 million. Ministry of Agriculture, Water, Fisheries, Livestock and Marine Resources. 5th item. Draft order approving the 2026 provisional budget of the National Water and Sanitation Office of Djibouti. The 2026 provisional budget of ONIAD is presented with revenues of 12,040,000,000, expenditures of 12,005,168,000, resulting in a projected surplus of 35,200 million. Ministry of the City, Urban Planning and Housing. 16th item. Draft order approving the 2026 professional budget of the Urban and Social Revitalization Agency. The 2026 provisional budget of AirLoss is presented with revenues of 3,692,000 in operating expenditures, resulting in a projected surplus of 77,000. 17th item. Draft order approving the 2026 provisional budget of the Real Estate and Land Development Company. The 2026 provisional budget of CIAF is set at expenditures of 2,946,000,000 in revenues and 200,080,000,000 in expenditures, resulting in a projected surplus of 64 million. Ministry of Economy and Finance in charge of industry. 18th item. Draft order approving the 2026 provisional budget of the Djibouti Economic Development Fund. The 2026 provisional budget of FDED is presented with revenues of 373,261,000, expenditures of 316,585,000, resulting in a projected surplus of 56,675,000. Communications. The Ministry of Economy and Finance in charge of industry reported on his participation in the replenishment meetings of the 17th African Development Fund held in London from 14 to 16 December of 2025. The Ministry of Higher Education and Research reported on a mission aimed at strengthening scientific cooperation with the Clermont-Auvergne University, conducted from 15 to 18 December 2025 in Clermont-Ferrand. The Minister of Defense in charge of relations with Parliament reported on his participation in the 35th Ordinary Meeting of the Political Organs of the Eastern African Standby Force, held from 17 to 18 December 2025 in Mogadishu, Somalia. The Minister of the City, Urban Planning and Housing reported on her participation in the 42nd session of the Council of Arab Ministers of Housing in the 6th Arab Ministerial Forum on Housing and Sustainable Urban Development, held in Doha from 14 to 16 December 2025. The Ministry of Youth and Culture reported on the inscription of Ibn Urbi on UNESCO's representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity during the session held in New Delhi on 9th of December 2025.
Today at the Parliament Palace, the President of the National Assembly, Dilaita Mohammed Dilaita, received the President of the Court of Audit, Ms. Ismahan Ibrahim Hamoud, who submitted the Court's annual general report on auditing and financial discipline for the year 2022-2023 period. This meeting provides an opportunity to reaffirm the central role played by the Court of Audit and budgetary discipline in overseeing government action and strengthening the principle of good governance. Mrs. Mahan Ibrahim Hamoud emphasized that the Court's mandate cover all public sector and aim to ensure compliance with the law while promoting and transparent, efficient, but also an accountable management of the public resources. The Djiboutian Air Forces organized an official ceremony to mark the reception of two aircraft, 208 B aircraft donated by the United States of America as part of the ongoing military cooperation between the Republic of Djibouti and the United States. The handover ceremony was attended by General of the Army Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim and Chief of General Staff of the Djiboutian Army Forces, along with the Ambassador of United States of America, credit to Djibouti, as well as several senior military commander and officials. These two aircraft will enable the Djiboutian Air Force to strengthen its capability in the in the surveillance and reconnaissance by the particularly in light of a growing security challenge facing the region and urgent need to protect the country's land border, maritime file and airspace. The Djiboutian Army Forces to address various security challenges. These events once again confirm the strength of bilateral relations between Djibouti and United States based on mutual trust and continuous coordination, as well as a shared vision aimed at enhancing security, safeguarding national sovereignty, and promoting peace and stability in the region. Djibouti and the United States relations constitute a model of long-term strategic cooperation multiple areas including defense and security, and also development, institutional capacity building, and coordination on regional issues of a common interest. In his address on this occasion, the commander of the Air Force highlighted the significant operational importance of these new aircraft for the Djiboutian Army Forces, explaining that they are equipped with intelligence, surveillance, and system, including advanced monitoring and detection equipment. The commander of the Air Force reaffirmed the major operational value of these new aircraft. He added that these aircraft will contribute to enhance rapid response capability for various operational missions, particularly land border and maritime coastal surveillance. He further emphasized that the introduction of these modern technical assets is part of a comprehensive plan to modernize and develop the Djiboutian Air Force aimed at raising combat readiness and enhancing the professional skill of air and technical crew, ensuring the optimal use of the new capability in the service of national security, he concluded. The Minister of Youth and Culture, in cooperation with the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, organized this morning at the National Library and Archive of the official launch ceremony of second edition of the National Heritage Week. This year's edition is held under the theme Heritage and Sustainable Development, transmitting knowledge and build the future, with the aim of highlighting the central role of cultural and documentary heritage in preserving national identity, strengthening social cohesion, and supporting sustainable development. The ceremony was attended by the Director General of the National Agency for Cultural Heritage and along with official and senior staff from the Ministry of Youth and Culture. The opening program included a panel discussion entitled The Role of Archive in National Cohesion and Transmission of Knowledge Between Generations. In his speech, followed by a debate on building historical and through the archive. For this occasion, in his speech, the General Director of ANPC emphasized the value of archive as a collective memory, a tool for historical knowledge, and a foundation for shared coexistence, he said. He also added that these National Heritage Week activities aim at raising public awareness, especially among young people, about the importance of heritage and building a sustainable and inclusive future that reflect national identity and reinforce cultural and social value. As part of national annual ministerial program, the minister delegate in charge of decentralization and the Minister of Interior conclude and conduct a field visit on Sunday, December 21, to the city of Ali Sabih, accompanied by the Minister of Interior, with the aim of reviewing the functioning of administrative service and assessing the progress of ongoing development project in the region. The visits include an inspection of a civil registry office of the regional council, where the ministers review the working condition and the quality of service provided to the citizens. He then visited the site of a large commercial market project currently under construction and scheduled for inauguration in the year 2000, in early 2026. The project is expected to stimulate local economic activities and create new job opportunity for young people. At the conclusion of the visit, the minister expressed his thanks and appreciation for the regional governor and president of the regional council for the warm welcome and excellent organization, praising the effort made by implementing development project and reaffirming the government's commitment to continuing support for initiative aimed at consolidating decentralization and achieving balanced development across all regions of the country. The State Secretariat in charge of sports organized the third edition of annual sports award ceremony, attended by senior government officials, sport leaders, representative of local federation and club, as well as prominent athletes and promising youth. This event was held within the framework of the state's strategy to promote sport culture and encourage fair competition and honor outstanding achievement across various sports disciplines. The ceremony served as a tangible recognition of the effort made by athletes at both national and international levels. The Secretary General in charge of sport address in his speech that sporting and in order to support athletes is a national strategy priority, reaffirming the government's commitment in order to provide a favorable environment for sport development and strengthen sport infrastructure, and also supporting national federation and club to nature talent, raise competition standard, and achieve positive results that enhance the country's image internationally. And now it is the time to the trophies. The several outstanding athletes receive the award trophies The team were honored during the ceremony with a award distributed in an atmosphere of pride and celebration. And then the role of a sport is in promoting discipline, teamwork, youth development, and responsible citizenship. The ceremony concluded with a renewed emphasizing on the importance of sustainable investment in the youth and sport as a fundamental pillars. A medical caravan was launched this morning in Tajura region on the occasion of the first anniversary of the opening regional hospital, Dr. Burhan Muhammad Arif, in an atmosphere marked by strong mobilization and commitment. The initiative was organized under the high patronage of the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdili, and within the national vision of bringing healthcare closer to the citizens as a champion by the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margili. On the first day, more than 620 medical consultations were conducted across 10 specialties, including internal medicine, pediatric, and ophthalmology. The prefect of Tajura region, Abbas Mahmoud, stated that this medical caravan reflects the government's commitment to strengthening public health service and highlight the remarkable progress of the regional hospital, which now provide essential medical specialties on a permanent basis. The caravan will continue for 3 days to benefit hundreds of citizens. The Tajura Regional Hospital, inaugurated by the President of the Republic 1 year ago, is today celebrating the first anniversary of its opening. This occasion, we present a special report focusing on the surgical operation department of the hospital. Detail in this report.
One year ago, the inauguration of the Tajura Regional Hospital marked a historic turning point for this northern region of the country. Today, it is more than an anniversary. It is the story of a silent revolution transforming access to healthcare through political will and a vision of territorial health equity. Until 2022, from X-ray and pediatric consultation and even a simple dental extraction, as a patient from Tajura had to travel to Djibouti City. Long hours on the road, difficult conditions, all for basic medical care. This imbalance placed a heavy burden on families and household budget and on continuity of care. The opening of the regional hospital changed everything. Located in the heart of Tajura, this ultra-modern facility now delivers comprehensive human and above all local care. It's just 12 months, thousands of consultations have been provided, hundreds of diagnostic exams performed and countless patients treated without ever leaving their region. In general, medicine alone, the impact is clear. For many patients, a simple appointment close to home represents a major shift, no longer depending on the capital for a medical opinion. The stomatology service stands out as one of the most emblematic advances. A patient suffering from severe toothache is treated immediately. What was once a medical order is now resolved on site thanks to modern equipment and a fully operational technical platform. Dental pain, formerly a frequent cause of medical evacuation, now finds its solution right in here in Tajura. This progress did not happen by chance. It is part of a clear political vision led by the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, who was made territorial healthcare a central pillar of national policy. The Tadjoura Regional Hospital is the concrete expression of that vision, bringing healthcare closer to citizens, reducing inequalities, and anchoring medicine in proximity. Driven by this commitment, the Ministry of Health has fully mobilized training staff, installing state-of-the-art equipment, reorganizing services, and ensuring continuous care adapted to local realities. Another major breakthrough is medical imaging. Digital X-rays, high-quality ultrasounds, exams that once required travel to the capital are now available locally. For families, this means less stress, faster treatment, and renewed confidence in the local health system. In the medical laboratory, modern machines operate at full capacity. Most routine blood tests are now carried out locally, quickly, and reliably. No more sample transfers, no more delays. The laboratory has become a cornerstone of the hospital. The blood transfusion center also plays a vital role. Thanks to voluntary donors, the hospital can respond to surgical needs, accidents, and emergencies, providing a new level of security for the population. Preventive medicine is equally central. Regular screening for childhood malnutrition are conducted. A pediatrician is now permanently assigned, ensuring specialized care for vulnerable children. For moderate to severe cases, nutritional support is provided on site, avoiding transfers to the capital. The expanded program on immunizations is also fully operational. Children from birth to 11 months receive free vaccines under optimal conditions. The objective is clear.
And this was an emergency cesarean section done for a woman with a non-reassuring fetal rate pattern. And the procedure was well under spinal anesthesia, and we have finished good. The woman she's in good status, and her vital signs
focused on patient comfort and efficient care pathways, a level of modernity equal that of the central hospitals. 12 months after this opening, the Tadjoura Regional Hospital is more than a healthcare facility. It is a symbol of equitable, accessible, and modern healthcare of a state committed to its regions, and the healthcare system is in transformation. Challenges remain: logistics, human resources, services consolidation. But one thing is certain: today, Tadjoura stands as a region where access to healthcare is ensured and sustained.
And now for the regional news, Banaadir prepare for a crucial local election to elect Mogadishu City Council on December 25, 2025. The Banaadir region, which includes 16 districts of Somali capital Mogadishu, is preparing to organize important local election on Thursday, December 25, to elect the Banaadir Council. This electoral process came as part of ongoing effort to strengthen local governance and broaden citizens' participation in the public affair. The election commission state that the preparation are progressing according to the established timetable, and confirm that all organization and technical arrangement had been made to ensure transparent, orderly, and credible electoral process. And for the international scene, the Egypt narrowly defeat Zimbabwe. The Egyptian national team defeated Zimbabwe on Monday evening by 2 goals to 1 against 2 in a match played in the stadium of Agadir as part of the first round of Group B match of the African Cup of the Nation in Morocco. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.